Welcome, ghost hunters and history lovers, to one of France's most magnificent and haunted castles. Towering over the Loire Valley, the Château de Brissac is not just a masterpiece of Renaissance architecture. It's home to a centuries-old ghost story that continues to chill visitors to the bone. Today, we re-delving into the dark history of this enchanting castle and seeking out its most famous spectral resident, the Green Lady. Built in the 11th century, Château de Brissac has witnessed centuries of French history, from noble feasts to brutal betrayals. It's the tallest castle in France, with 7 stories, over 200 rooms, and a history as deep as its foundations. While it's known for its luxurious interiors and sprawling vineyards, it's the castle's secrets that draw us here. Within these opulent walls, a tragic tale of love, jealousy, and murder gave birth to a legend that has haunted the Brissac family for generations. The story begins in the 5th-10th century with Jacques de Brézé, the Grand Seneschal of Normandy, and his beautiful wife, Charlotte de Valois. Charlotte was the illegitimate daughter of King Charles VII and his mistress, Agnes Sorel. Their marriage was a political arrangement, and while Jacques was deeply in love with Charlotte, her heart belonged to another man, a huntsman in her husband's service named Pierre de la Vergne. One night, Jacques was awakened by his servants, who informed him that his wife was not in her bed. Filled with suspicion, he followed the whispers down the winding corridors of the castle. His search led him to a small chapel tower, where he discovered Charlotte and Pierre together. Consumed by a jealous rage, Jacques drew his sword. The tragic events of that night are debated, but one popular version of the legend claims he murdered them both on the spot. Some say he struck them down with 100 blows of his sword. The room where the lovers met their grisly end would forever be marked by their spirits. Soon after the murders, the haunting began. Jacques de Brézé was tormented by agonizing moans echoing through the castle. The disembodied cries seemed to come from the very walls, driving him to the brink of madness. Unable to endure the ghostly torment, he eventually sold the chateau and fled, but the spirits of the tragic lovers remained. Centuries later, the castle came into the possession of the Brissac family, who still own it today. They too became familiar with the castle's resident phantom. She became known as La Dame Verte, or the Green Lady, named for the color of the dress she was said to be wearing on the night of her death. Her apparition is one of the most frequently reported hauntings in all of France. Those who have seen the Green Lady describe a truly terrifying sight. She appears as a spectral figure in a green gown, but her face is a ghastly horror. Where her eyes and nose should be, there are only dark, gaping holes, like a corpse in decay. Her moans are said to be the most chilling part of the encounter, filled with the agony of her final moments. She is most often seen in the chapel tower room where she died, and her mournful cries are frequently heard throughout the castle, especially in the early hours of the morning. The current Duke of Brissac and his family have spoken openly about their experiences with the Green Lady. They have grown accustomed to her presence, treating her almost like a long-staying guest. Guests staying overnight in the castle have reported waking up to her chilling wails. Staff members have felt sudden cold spots and heard footsteps in empty hallways. The Green Lady doesn't seem to want to harm anyone. Instead, her spirit seems trapped in a loop, endlessly reliving the horror of her own murder. Paranormal investigators and television crews from around the world have visited Château de Brissac, hoping to capture evidence of the Green Lady. Many have recorded unexplained sounds, electronic voice phenomena capturing moans and whispers, and even fleeting visual anomalies. The castle's opera house is another hotspot, where she is sometimes seen watching unseen performances from the rafters. Is the Green Lady a real tormented soul, or simply a fantastic story that has grown with the castle over the centuries? For the many who have heard her cries or felt her presence in the dead of night, the answer is clear. The beautiful Château de Brissac holds a dark secret, a reminder that even the most beautiful places can hide the most tragic of tales. The next time you see a grand castle, remember the stories whispered in its halls. Some things, it seems, can never truly be left in the past. Thanks for joining us on this ghostly journey. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales from the world's most haunted places. See you next time.